You can give them to the birds and bees. I need money.
Yeah, money.
Let's put money on the couch.
Yeah.
Money, honey.
That's what I want.
Think you have any notion of the true strengths and depths of the opposition to our work? There's the whole medical establishment, of course, baying to send Freud to the auto da fe. But that's as nothing compared to what happens when our ideas begin to trickle through in whatever garbled form they're relayed to the public. The denials, the frenzy, the incoherent rage.
Yes! Yeah! Hello, we're here with the winner. Puffy Woods. He have just won the boxing.
The more money you make, the more problems you get.
Knowledge drop.
Federal agents mad cause I'm flagrant. Tap myself and the phone in the basement. My team supreme, stay clean. Triple beam, miracle dream. I be that. Catch a seat at all events bent. Jackson holders.
Oh, yeah. We are back live in Studio B at the McCoy Manor.
What's up, buddy?
I'm Jason McCoy alongside my partner in crime.
Nelson Boyer.
And we are the cast of Put 'em on the Couch. Yes, indeed.
21st century philosopher, buddy.
Yeah, little
Puff Daddy.
Notorious B.I.G.
Absolutely,
Rest
man.
in peace,
Absolutely.
Biggie. Rest in
Amen,
peace.
Amen.
More money, more problems.
That's
On
the truth.
today's
That's the truth,
episode,
buddy.
we're going to investigate that age-old question, right?
Yeah, please. Let's talk about money.
Religion says money's the root of all evil.
Money is not the root of all evil. That's what the Bible says. Don't Bible me.
Yeah, but Gordon
It
Gekko from Wall Street said what?
says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And Gordon Gekko talks about money like a what? Like a lover.
On a daily basis, I consume enough drugs to sedate Manhattan, Long Island, and Queens for a month.
Okay, Mr. Jordan.
See, money doesn't just buy you a better life, better food, better cars. It also makes you a better person. You can give generously to the church or political party of your choice.
Talks about money as a woman.
And, of course, remember Jerry Maguire? What did Jerry Maguire say? Show me the money.
Show me the money.
He
Keep it
asked
good,
his agent to
yes,
show
right.
him the
Show
money.
The qualm.
Well, look, about 10, 13 years ago, there was a lot of new research looking at this relationship between what all of us warm-blooded Americans know, what anybody who loves capitalism knows,
Yeah.
that money makes you happier, right? But that's not what Nobel Prize-winning economist Danny Kahneman and his colleague Angus Deaton found. In fact, they found that turns out if you've already got a lot of money, then chances are not a good return on your investment to go to work and work longer hours or work harder.
We have more stuff, but we have less time for the things that really make us happy. Friends, family, leisure time. We're working harder than ever. Some analysts say we have less leisure time than any time since feudal society.
Probably want to spend your time doing things, as we talked about in the last episode, right?
I guess that depends on how you look at money. I mean, you could look at it as sustenance or as a means to acquire it, or you could look at it as scorekeeping.
Shortly after World War II, retailing analyst Victor Lebeau articulated the solution that's become the norm for the whole system. He said that we convert the buying and use of goods into rituals, that we seek our spiritual satisfaction, our ego satisfaction in consumption. We need things consumed, burned up, replaced, and discarded at an ever-accelerating rate. President Eisenhower's Council of Economic Advisors chairman said that the American economy's ultimate purpose is to produce more consumer goods.
Yeah, well, if you don't have any money, however, what Kahneman found was, well, let's say you start out at $10,000. That's not hardly enough money to take care of your needs, let alone any of your wants, right?
Right.
There's not going to be any extra for recreation.
Not unless you're like big in the Bazooka Joe 5-cent gum.
Yeah.
If that's your jam.
But a little bit of money in that case can go a long way. So people at the bottom of the money category have a lot of improvement that they can make with just a little extra.
Jason, when we were talking about this coming in, you had mentioned something that I found really interesting, and that was sort of money as a kernel. Money is sort of a gateway into happiness, but not the supplier of happiness.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So what were we talking about?
You're talking about the Norwegian playwright Heinrich Isben.
That's who you were talking about, yeah.
Yeah. Here's one of his refrains or stanzas. I don't know much about poetry. I'll leave that up to my lit majors and aficionados. But he writes, let me conclude this essay with money may be the husk of many things, but not the kernel. It brings you food, but not appetite. Medicine, but not health. Acquaintances, but not friends. Servants, but not faithfulness. Days of pleasure, but not peace or happiness.
I think that's interesting. Sort of like a lubricant, a happy lubricant, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
So,
Of course, Hillary Belloc, whoever that is, said, I'm tired of love. I'm still more tired of rhyme, but money gives me pleasure all the time.
oh, all right.
Again, I think a lot of these rappers that I have enjoyed throughout my life rap about, first of all, what's really going on in their life, past, present.
That's right.
And many of these guys and gals were, destitute for most of their childhood. And
We went from rags to riches, project fences to living luxury.
they write about, making it, and money's a big part of their idea of making it, I guess. Again,
Yeah, but
if you start with nothing, a little bit of money is a hell of a lot. But
but like we just heard from 21st or 20th century philosopher Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
More money, more problems.
The more money we come across, the more problems we see.
So what would you do, if you had 99 problems and you were rich?
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, do you really think these guys, these rappers, are happier than the people who become forest dwellers and go out and find themselves, these Buddhist monks and Hindu monks who really try to explore the meaning of spirituality and purpose? Do you think they're happier? I mean, how do we even begin to quantify it?
Well,
But they have less problems.
an interesting question. How do we begin to quantify it? For, again, the past 10 or 15 years, social psychologists, including Dan Gilbert at Harvard in the hedonics lab, interesting title of his lab, along with Kahneman and one of his harshest critics from Penn's Wharton School of Business, Killingsworth, back in 2021, used a smartphone app they called Track My Happiness. This thing would ping volunteers throughout the day for a couple of months and basically just ask them several times a day, how are you feeling? How are you doing? On a scale from I'm miserable to I'm extremely happy right now. What they found was an interesting relationship between how much money these people made yearly and how much satisfaction they reported on average across this little time series experiment. And what they found was, again, true to form, a lot of people who were making $60,000 to $90,000 reported pretty good bit of happiness. People who earned significantly less than that, not as much happiness, but after $123,000, there was no material difference. Couldn't see any increase in happiness for those that made over 123. So maybe the key is just having enough money to take care of all of your needs.
Most of your wants.
With a few wants, thrown in there.
There you go.
I was also thinking about just historically, have people really made a lot of money? I mean, there's been a handful of people historically, but it's all relative, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You always compare yourself to your neighbor.
Yeah, or your brother-in-law.
As you mentioned, yeah. In my case, my brother-in-law.
Well, today I want to turn...
I must have manifested a rich brother-in-law or something to feel bad about myself.
Well, I want to turn in our next episode to some externalities, some environmental stimuli, some forms of entertainment.
I'm there.
I want to focus on hedonism a little bit, man. Sex. Drugs. Rock and roll.
Oh, man.
Or if you're not of that persuasion, maybe pets.
Preach. I love it. All right.